Hi, welcome to FS 5693 this semester. I am Katie Rose and I am the professor for this class. I just wanted to give just a quick little intro just to kind of welcome you to the class. If you haven't already found the Start Here materials, be sure that you visit that first and read that information. It kind of gives you an idea about what you can expect from this class in terms of communication and turnaround time for grading. Ways to communicate, ways to get in touch with either me or the teaching assistant, those kinds of things. So that's all there for you. What I really want to talk to you a little bit about during this introduction is just sort of the importance of research in and of itself. Whenever I teach this class, I always have a mix of students. Some come with a real desire to learn how to do their own research. They know that they are either headed towards a doctoral program or they're in a doctoral program, and they know that they would like to create and generate new knowledge through research. I also have students who come to this class because they're pursuing a master's degree for a more practical purpose. And by practical, I don't mean reasonable or realistic or things like that. I mean in terms of they're actually going to go out and apply their knowledge and work with clients, with children and families, as a counselor, as a marriage and family therapist, as a teacher, as a early interventionist, any number of things. So they're taking their knowledge into a more practical setting, whether it be clinical or not, parent educators, those kinds of things. So they're not necessarily going to take this knowledge and move forward into their own career in research, but they will be needing to be able to read research and understand it to be effective in the work that they do with children and families. So be aware that I know that there's a mix of that in this class, as there always is. And I don't expect every single one of you to become enthralled with research and decide to go off and be a researcher. That's just not going to happen. Many of you will feel that way at the end. Many of you already do, and some of you don't now, nor will you ever. I've been in your shoes, all of the above, so I can definitely empathize. But what I want you to really understand, and I want this to be the lens through which you view all the material in this class, no matter what you're going to do with your graduate degree, if you are a person holding a master's degree in any content area, you are viewed by others as an expert in that content area, in that field. So if you are pursuing a master's degree so that you can be a parent educator, parents and other professionals will look at you and say, you have a master's degree in family studies, you are an expert in family studies. And they will come to you with questions about things related to that content area. Not all of which you'll be able to answer right away, but you should know how to find the answers, and you should also be able to tell which answers to give credit to, credibility to, and which ones you shouldn't. On the other hand, some of you are going to go be researchers. And of course, you need to know how to design a research study, how to carry one out, and how to be successful in that regard. But I want to remind all of you, even if you never intend to do any of your own research, you have to understand the material in this class in order to be able to read articles and critically evaluate their merit, which you will use in your clinical or practical work with children and families. So, with that said, we will approach this class as if everyone has a burning desire to understand research methods in its entirety. I will be looking for each of you to be able to, in your mini proposal, develop a systematic plan for a research project. This, for some of you, will be the only time that you ever do that. And that's okay, but you'll know how to do it. Because only having done it will you be able to evaluate how well someone else has done it. Because you will have parents, clients, children, families, other teachers, other professionals, coworkers, your neighbor, you name it. When people know that you have a master's degree in something, they will come to you with lots of questions about things. Oh, I read this. Is this true? Or what did you think about that story on the news last night? Or, the newspaper published the results of some study that said this, that, the other thing. you should really be able to say, well, I'd have to look at that article, and then you do so and be able to go back to that person and say whether or not the results should be given much credence based on the methodology that you read. So you have to be able to do that. To have a master's degree, for many people, the definition of that means you are a critical consumer of the literature. And holding a PhD means that you are a generator of the literature, a producer of the literature. So regardless of your progress through graduate school, where you currently are, what your end goal is, it is important that you understand how to critically evaluate the research that you read. And this class will help you do that, because you're going to learn how to do research yourself. And you're going to learn the best practices and what should go into something. And that will help you critically evaluate how well someone else has done it. So that's your lens. Whether you like research or not, you've got to get excited about it somehow, because that's what we're going to be doing all semester. So whatever it takes to get you excited about it, I encourage you to get excited about it, because it really is an interesting topic. And like I said, I can relate to all different levels of experience. I have probably sat in the same chair that you're in regardless of your status, because I did a master's degree with a professional option, knowing that I would never, ever do my own research. I was never going to get a PhD. I would never do that. I just wanted to be a child life specialist, and that was what I was doing. That's why I was getting a master's degree. And 2 years later, I found myself in another graduate program getting a second master's, because at Purdue, where I received my doctorate, they required a master's degree with a thesis to enter their PhD program. And I had the master's degree, but I didn't have the thesis. So I did a second master's degree there, as they required, completed a thesis, and then entered the doctoral program and completed my dissertation. And the experience was invaluable. I don't know that I could have done a dissertation having not done a thesis prior to that, because it really is labor intensive, and a lot of information there about research methods that you sometimes have to really just actually do it yourself before you really understand it. But the reason I tell you that story is because regardless of where you are in terms of your relationship with research, I've probably been there too, so I can empathize with you. So feel free to let us know about that. When you do your introduction, let us know your experience with research and sort of where you are on the continuum of love for research and research methods. So I just wanted to let you know that regardless of how you feel about doing it yourself, research is important. It's how we get new knowledge. It's how we gain a better understanding about things, and we have to be able to critically consume it, be critical readers and evaluators of it if we are someone who holds a graduate degree. So welcome to the class. Please feel free to get yourself very well acquainted with the course shell, the way it's organized, get the syllabus, save a copy to your hard drive, and or print a copy so that you always have one. Even if something weird happens to Blackboard, you still have your syllabus. Get to know it. Let us know if you have any questions. But above all else, welcome to the class. We're glad you're here, and I'm just making sure I covered everything. We're glad you're here and look forward to having a great semester with you. So welcome.